I was going to say that I've said this privately to a lot of folks and also publicly, but you touched on a little bit about the turnaround. And there's a lot of members who don't know, but you kind of glossed over it, but you should know about some of the turbulent times that the Minnesota Zoo has gone through. And my first term when I was elected, I was in the House, and there was, at that time, the zoo had deficiency requests in all the time with in the red ink and needing that January bailout of emergency funds all the time. And there was, and you touched on it, about the foundation. You know, it's easy to raise money for sexy capital investment projects, but it's not so easy to raise money for the operating costs. And the balance had been really out of skew on that, and also the attendance projections, and there were newspaper stories all the time about the troubles going on there. And that's at the time where you took a chance and came in, and the legislature was pretty harsh on the Minnesota Zoo at that time as well, questioning those deficiencies and calling for the governance study, which was, do we even have the proper model of governance here if things are like this? And you came in about, it was 10 years ago, and we asked you to do some things, and we asked you to run it more like a business, to get things under control, and you've talked about some of those things. At that time, I didn't represent the zoo, actually was in the neighboring district. Now, for the last number of years, I have represented the zoo, and so I've watched closely as things have really turned around, and we don't see the deficiency requests. In fact, when is the last time the zoo has been to the legislature for a deficiency request outside of the normal budgeting? Do we have an answer to that, or do we know that?
Mr. Chair, Senator Gerlach, I believe the last time was in 1998, which was what triggered the governance study that you referenced. I think the deficiency study, or the deficiency appropriation, was granted on the condition that that study be conducted.
Okay.
The study did lay out 10 major points about where the zoo needed to improve its relationship with the legislature, its private fundraising, creating a long-term vision and acting on it, increasing its educational opportunities. And I think we've been able to I don't want to say check off, but make real progress on all 10 of those recommendations, and I think the results are speaking for themselves.
And that was a real fork in the road, really. And I'm pleased to say that you've been on the right track on that fork for the last years, and I myself have been very critical in those early years as well. I was a proponent of that governance study, and now I will say that it's you've done what we've asked you to do. So for that, thank you.